It's going to be that kind of Friday. Welcome to Open Friday Coffee. I'm Janine Bolon, founder of Entrepreneurs HQ. And currently our big event that we're running is the Entrepreneurial Summit. So that's kind of been where my brain has been literally for a year, because I started with writing a book called the 99 Authors Project. And so the Entrepreneurial Summit is what we're going to focus on for the beginning. But there are other events because many of my authors are looking for speaking gigs. So I like to connect with people I know, like, and trust in that regard. And then if you have some sort of service and would like to become a verified vendor of Entrepreneurs HQ, please let us know. And that will be it for the pitch. I hate sales. I'm done. I don't like it. so if you have an interest in any of those things, what we're going to say is definitely chat with me. Hold your hand up because I don't want to waste a lot of time on that. Okay, so Ingrid, talk to us. How can I help you today? When people come to Open Friday Coffee, that's always the thing. How can I help you? What can I do for you?
I'm just kind of here to learn from you a little bit, Janine. I've been hearing great things about you and that you're someone to check out. So I wanted to stop by and
Oh,
and see what to know, what I'm missing here.
okay. Well, thank you so much. I'm honored, number one, because everybody in this room has a million other things they could be doing right now. And the fact that you choose to spend your Friday morning here with me, I'm honored. And it's a privilege to have you with us. And that means it for, I mean it for everybody. Thank you, Jeff. I love you too. But I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm aware that you can be in so many other places. And so definitely thank you for being with me today. How did you come to me? If you don't mind my asking, how did you find out about me?
From Jeff.
Oh, Jeff. Okay.
Yep, yep.
I have three master connectors, and one of them is Jeff Broshawa. The other one is Mark, and I have Rich Beyer. The three of them like feed people to me all the time. And so I'm always like, how'd you come by me? Oh, and they point on the screen of the person that's there. Ingrid, if you don't mind telling us, what is it that you do? 15 seconds or less.
I'm a virtual assistant in specializing in administration tasks, backside things,
Okay,
focusing on
we need to
follow-ups
talk.
recently.
No,
Yeah.
that's enough. We need to talk because I'm looking for verified vendors. What is a verified vendor? It's somebody that I work with personally for a bit. And then after I've worked with you for a little bit, then I open you up to Entrepreneurs HQ. You build out a package for them and let them know. And so we need to talk after the summit because I do not have bandwidth for that right now. However, we're promoting the summit for a full year. And so definitely get back with me on an Open Friday Coffee. We'll start them back up in October. And so this is the last one until October because I need bandwidth for September. So, okay, great to see you, Ingrid. Thank you for letting us know your skill set, and we'll definitely be reaching back around to you. Hi, Doreen, Matt, great to see you guys. Okay, Sarah, you and I had an email communication. I was like, holy Hades, it's about time this woman connected with me again. It's been too long. Unmute yourself, darling.
Yeah, it's been a while. I have decided to reach out to everyone I haven't talked to in a long time, and you were one of them.
Yeah. And I was like, whoa, she's alive. No, I'm joking. But there are times where you're wondering how people are doing and you don't really want to say, so how you doing? And then you get the laundry list of all crises that are going on in their life. Or am I the only one that has all those crises going on in my life?
I think that's part of the entrepreneur journey.
It is. So how can we help you today?
Well, I just really wanted to reconnect and see what you were up to. In your email, you alluded to a summit and you just said it again. So, I mean, I feel like I did fall off the face of the earth. I went on a road trip for 2 months. I came back and I like hit a wall. And, now it's like 3 months later and, I just need to get back into it. So reconnecting, finding out what's going on out there and not hiding under a rock anymore.
Well, thank you and congratulations. And road trips will do that to you. I spent a month in Australia. I came back and I was like, who am I? What's my name? I don't even remember my brand right now. So I totally understand that.
That's Ian's fault.
Yeah, it's Ian's fault. I went and visited my send out card upline down there and did a little talk and blah, blah, blah. It was a lot of fun. Okay, so for the rest of you and Lynette, if you would be so kind to put the Entrepreneurial Summit link in there, everybody gets a complimentary free ticket. I'm going to let you know we have 3 sessions going at once because we had so many speakers and we had time crunches. So Jeff Borshawa, who I'll introduce in a bit, is taking care of room number 3. He is the one that will run all the verified vendors through, as well as our people who are business owners that have skill sets that help authors get profitable. The whole focus of the summit is money, money, money. It's not the reason why we exist, but I see too many people floundering, and I want you to stay in business. That's my core. That's why I want it. But so I had to find authors who are actually being profitable in their business to speak. That took let me tell you, that took 362 interviews before I got the 37 that are on the
Wow.
summit. It took me 18
Wow.
months. So I've been working on this summit for 18 months because I was very, very picky on who came to the summit and who was going to talk. And even if they aren't like making buku bucks, they're at least in the black. They haven't gone into debt for their business. They've either pulled from a savings account. So those were my criteria. I was very pointed. I said, so how much are you in debt? And if they told me, then I referred them to my financial freedom course and said, take that so that you can get on next year's summit, but I can't have you on it if you've got that kind of debt load. Yeah. So anyway, that's the past 30 years of me being a financial first responder. I get very pointed on stuff like that. So lovely to hear from you, Sarah. You're welcome to join the summit. The link is in the chat. Even if you can't, just to let you know, you will get a 15-minute screen that will say for $67, you get into the membership area. Please realize after the summit, to become a member of Authorpreneurs HQ will cost $297. So
wow.
the price will bump. So I always like to tell people, have your credit card ready because that screen only is up for 15 minutes. And why? I only want people in my community that are action takers. That's me filtering out my people. I don't want it. And I have people that go, but the screen now says 97. I'm like, well, I want you to be prepared to get into this program. Okay. And then I'll tell you more about it later. Because like I said, I hate sales. Well, come to the summit. If you like what you hear, Jeff does his thing. I have Brian Hyde, who can't make it today. He's in room number 2. He's for the new authors, the ones that are either working on their book and they're only 6 months published. He has that group. And then I have the published authors who want to become profitable. And we happen to have a brand new, freshly minted author in the room today. So Rich, would you like to tell us about your new book? Baby.
But I'm actually holding it.
It's in my hand, he says.
It's completely surreal. It's a surreal experience, to be perfectly honest with you. I met Jeff through you, Janine, and I made the mistake one time of using the term that I was bookless. And that's all Jeff needed to hear. He said, that's curable. And that I am sitting here with my book in hand. I mean, this is proof positive that anybody and everybody has a book in them.
Yeah.
And Jeff also showed me that I didn't only have a book, but he was like, oh my God, you have books. Because we were talking just, so the next book is underway. And this book is about business branding, because they made me do the adult grown-up kind of stuff first before I could do the kind of out there stuff. Next book is going to be based on my mom's Yiddishisms.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
A Yiddish phrase for everything. And when she started sliding down the Alzheimer's path, I was like, oh man, if I don't start writing all this stuff down, it's going to go with her, you know? So I started doing all that, and Jeff was like, he glommed onto that.
That's fun stuff.
Yeah.
So Rich, feel free to put the link in the chat so that we can all buy the book. I want to support you. Anytime you guys go through my program and you end up with a book out of it, by golly, I want that book on my shelf. And then one day you're going to meet me, and the very first thing I'm going to do is shove your book in your face and go, I want it signed. Okay. So thank you very much for listening, everybody. It was a very transformative event for Rich, and that's why I'm always trotting him out as this amazing new author, because he is. And Jeff Broshawa has, and we'll talk in just a minute, a 12-hour book program where in 12 hours you can have your book, and then it's up to you to edit it, but he can help you within 12 hours or less. We say 12 hours, he actually does it faster. But see, you know, there's a point where people stop believing you, even though you can. And so we just kept it at the 12-hour, which was what it originally took him. How, Jeff, how fast are you now in a book?
Well, to be honest, Janine, the 12-hour book took me 4 hours.
Right.
An average book takes me about 2 hours.
Yeah. So he's
So
got
I'm gonna-
his system
I'm gonna
down.
jump in if I can real quickly, if I may, the
Sure.
process, because the process is so great. And the process is Jeff just interviews you and asks you tons of questions. And then what you get back is in book format, but in a Word document, but I mean, in book format with a table of contents and everything, what you spoke about. And all of a sudden you're reading your words, and and then what you can do from there is you can just say, okay, good, let's publish it, or you can put your voice to it. And that was the really fun part for me. So, you know, you don't have to sit there and like pine and like, you know, pace the floors because you're having a block. You know, he does all that stuff for you.
And so that's the 12-hour book program, which we will be running during the summit. Jeff has agreed to do his 90-minute workshop where he shares his secret sauce. He shares everything with you, and you can do it on your own if you choose to. And it's only going to cost, I think, $197. It's normally a $5,500 program. And so he's willing to do that for the Entrepreneurs HQ and the people who sign up for the summit. And that's just one of 5 workshops that are running that are over $1,000 that these speakers have agreed with me to help Entrepreneurs HQ. So anyhow, we have other people here. We have Nancy and Doreen. It's lovely to see you. And we're going to have a 1-minute tech tip. And so Matt, how about we have you first, and then Nancy, and then Doreen. So Matt, would you give us our 1-minute tech tip for the day, please?
Yeah, hi there, Janine. It's good to see everybody on here. Today's gonna be a very intriguing tech tip, and Nancy already knows why. Unfortunately, my mom died last week.
Oh, holy Hades!
Yes, so it
So sorry.
sucks. Yeah, it sucks more than a Dyson vacuum cleaner convention. So, in doing so, and I just got back yesterday from the trip, so it's been pretty traumatic for me. So, the one thing we don't think about very often is somebody's digital history. And so God forbid, you died, somebody passed, died, what have you. How do you get into their accounts? How do you get into their phones or their accounts on the computer, for financial, otherwise? So it's important to have procedures in place where, God forbid, something happens with somebody, where you have access or somebody has access to that. So I can always help you go through the motion on what to do and what to know, and what to have down, and that will sit there and help you in case somebody gets really sick or unfortunately passes. So I just want to throw that out to everybody. Besides the fact that Apple's coming out with new products next week, they're having their big iPhone debut, the 15, and I think new IPAs and also new AirPod Pros. On a little bit lighter note, I have 2 jokes, or Mattisms as I call them. I wasn't originally going to get a brain transplant, but then I changed my mind.
Brilliant.
And the second one is the guy who invented the door knocker gets a Nobel Prize.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, Matt, this community is here for you. And so reach out to everybody. Okay, reach out to the people appropriate and take your time, because we could all talk about the people we've lost. We'll choose not to, but just know we are with you and our thoughts on this. So anyhow, feel free to drop off whenever you have to, because I know you work for a living like the rest of us, and you pop on whenever you can. And that's the rule for the room. Pop on when you can, leave when you have to. I don't take it personally. I know you have a life. So anyway, Matt, thank you very much for being on for our 1-minute tech tip. And it is important that you do that. Having had my share of people pass in my life, just say this: at the age of 55, I was the oldest living woman in my family. my entire upline is gone. So having that in my understanding, I can assure you, pre-COVID and post-COVID, dealing with people who you're trying to get into accounts can be quite fun, as the Marines like to say. Oh, that was fun. So anyhow, thank you very much, Matt. Okay, and then let us go to lovely Nancy Fields. How are you, my dear? How can we help you today?
Well, I'm fine. I also want to just give a shout out because after the last meeting, which was my first, I reached out to Matt, and Matt is helping me set up, and I'm so glad because I'm setting up a new system, and I knew I didn't want to bring over the old stuff into my old system, so he's helping me, and I'm so grateful to this group and so grateful to Matt.
Thank you.
So,
I appreciate it. So.
My tech tip is for authors. I often get asked, "What should I get my domain name in my book or in my author name?" And I say both. And also get a Google business profile in your author name, because that becomes your identity on Google. And there are so many things that when you begin to build a website, to marry your website with Google Business Profile, it can just raise you in the search engine results very fast and very high.
Okay, thank you very much for your author tech tip. I always appreciate it when you guys come on and say, I got a tip, because basically Open Friday Coffee is a brain trust. You show up when you can, you leave when you have to, and we love having you here, but at the same time, we understand you can't always make it. But when you are here, if you can give us a tip that you think will be of service and help, that just makes the community stronger, and we all stay in business making money, right? Putting the 529 monies in for the kids, all that fun stuff. Tuition's big on my mind. I have 4 kids in college. And it's September. Okay, so you know where I'm coming from. Okay, Doreen, thank you for being so patient. It's lovely to have you, my dear.
Thank you. No tip, just a question. Actually, 2 questions for the Authorpreneur Summit. Is there a schedule where people can see who's going to speak when?
Yes, there is. And that is the agenda. And I think that's the one link Lynette does not have of the 128 I gave her this morning. So here's the Authorpreneurial Summit. Summit.com/agenda. And you can also just go to the entrepreneurialsummit.com, and it has the agenda on the menu bar right now. But we had to lock out the agenda before we could start posting it to everybody.
Oh.
And still today, I have people trying to shuffle their spots. So I'm having to be a real wicked witch of the whatever to say, if you don't give me an answer by 12, and that's noon Mountain Time, we're locking the conference. So just to let you know, that's kind of what I'm going through right here. But anyway, there you go. That's your agenda when you're speaking, all that good stuff. And it's public. Everybody can see it. But
that's what I know when I'm speaking, it was more about how to
like
send
12 or back to Kansas.
Exactly. So
and the second question about that is, in terms of people, I know how many in my list have, like, there've been over 50 people who have clicked in. Is there a way to see who has signed up for the free pass?
Yes, there is. And that's in your speakers area. So log in to your speakers area, and that's where you will see your dashboard.
Okay, I saw my dashboard, but I didn't see names, but that's
I don't know about that. We're using Funnel Kit, and I am not I have somebody else who's the pro on that. So if you want to send Tasha that question, we will route it through Richard.
I'll do Tasha. And Rich, congratulations. That's what I'm speaking about. Even though a book is on its way, you can still talk about it. You don't need to wait until it's published. And Jeff was on my podcast yesterday.
So, oh, bravo. Good job.
I was on his earlier. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Janine.
No problem. And that brings up something I wanted to share with you. And Lynette, if you'll pull out the Podcasters Playground, the next event after the summit is the Podcasters Playground. It's something that Jeff and I are collaborating on. If you know of a podcaster, if you are a podcaster, we're going to put a link in, which will basically, you're just saying, I want to speak. It's just putting your toe in the water. No commitments necessary. And Jeff and I despise excess email as much as you do. So we will be kind to you. We promise. If we send you an email, you want to open it because we are giving you data. We're not just filling your inbox with fluff to keep us top of mind in your box. Okay. Right, Jeff? Did I say that right? I just want to make sure.
I don't have time to read spam, and I definitely don't have to write it. So anything I send is details.
It's going to be details. It's going to be telling you about, it's going to be like, if you want to be a part of this, this is why with the Entrepreneurial Summit, Jeff and I are working with every speaker on there to collaborate with them to build a workshop to help you. And it's all based on money, and profit. I just wanted to do that. Cash flow, and profit, because we want you to stay in business. And one of the things that's happened that I've noticed over the last 3 years of being online is how many people are given all this advice, and then they freaking find out that their burn rate is like $300,000 for them to make $1 million. I'm sorry, I'm not putting a second mortgage on my house so that I can do that system. I'm not operating at that level. And so Janine, don't piss Janine off. She'll run an event or make a summit. and that's what happened. I got pissed off, and that was a very good motivator. So we will be presenting workshops and stuff. And for you folks, it's more giving you opportunities to speak and share what you know, because you guys are servant leaders. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here on Open Friday Coffee. And so remember that when you write a book, whichever kind of book you want to write, that is kind of like a business card on steroids. And it allows you to share what you know. So if you don't have a book, then I highly recommend that you chat it up with Jeff, go through his system, or you're like, I cannot afford Jeff. That's fine. Then come to the, Entrepreneurial Summit. There we go. Come to the Entrepreneurial Summit and sign up for $197. That's the least expensive you'll ever find. He and I doing that program. And then you guys will be in good shape. Okay. So that's that. Did I forget anything else of the Podcasters Playground? Then we have the Podcaster Circus. Is that right, Jeff? That's in May 1st and 2nd. So it's so bad with stuff that I already have 2024 out, and I'm already putting down events that are happening. So stay tuned in Open Friday Coffee, because that's where you'll hear about it first. Okay. All right. I think that's everything on that point. And Nikki, thank you so much for your patience. Thanks for being with us. So what's going on? What's happening?
Oh, thank you, Janine. I am getting my email set up to promote, and I'd emailed you and Tasha about the little issue with getting my affiliate account set up. And so that's my question for help today. I just realized there's a Nikki spelled the same way, Green, right below my name. And she gave me her affiliate link. And I wonder if that was the tech glitch. So I just emailed her back, letting her know that. And I just want to get it all squared away so I could promote.
You know what? We can do that right now for you. And thank you for
Perfect.
coming to Open Friday Coffee just to get your affiliate link.
Great.
And yes, we had a lot of fun because both of your last names start with G as
Yes.
well.
Nikki Green and Nikki Gangemi.
and so there was a little bit of issues, just like in the hospitals, we would always use people's names, but that's why everybody starts using birth dates now, just because of the same issue. Don't want to be given the wrong blood type out, right? So there you go. You are number 6, I believe. Okay.
Oh, I'm number 6. Okay. I could have sworn I saw number 9, but I will.
Well, let me look.
I'm 6. No, I'm 6. I guess I don't even, what would that be called? It's not reversing letters. It's reading them upside down and their numbers. So I don't even know, but you're correct. It's 9.
Okay. All right.
I call that Jamaican Maui Wowie.
Jamaican Maui.
I mean, it's 6. It's 6.
Okay. You'll be okay, Nikki. Hang in there. Okay. So I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back around the room. And for anybody that has a tip, something you've learned, something that has helped you with your cash flow, revenue stream, profitability, please let us know. So what I'd like to say, this was the radio show that I had for years and years and years, and it still runs. It's just people have to pay to be on it. Is that in the Janine Bolon show, we say, we're here to save you money, save you time, save your sanity, or save your knowledge. Okay, so we do those 4 things. And so if you can talk to us in one of those formats, we'd love it. But first I have to introduce somebody who has a tip for us, and I know he does. I saved him because Mark was the first one on. And I love the Jewish principle of the first shall be last and the last shall be first. I've always loved that. And I know it means something totally different, but I like it my way, the way I define it. So go ahead, Mark. Love to have you on. I give you the last word for the introductions. Don't get choked up, baby. It's okay.
Yeah,
we love you. It's all right, honey. It's all right.
Yeah. Well, the tip of the this morning I had a beautiful conversation with one of my teachers, and you know, we receive information by other people. Meaning is that this energy of other people will show us a different path. So my tip of the day is just to be present, receiving the information you need to receive in the moment you need to receive it. You don't know wherever it's going to go. Just be present in that action, and you'll see amazing things will happen. That's my tip.
Thank you very much, Mark. I appreciate you. And just to let you know, we have 2 people who can help you with your mindset in the room. We can all help each other with mindset, but these guys are like the pros about it. And that is Mark and Nikki. They both have that. If you want to really be able to articulate what is in your being, then you want to talk to Dr. Doreen. If you want help when it comes to your authorship, you want to talk to Nancy when it comes to moving things about. And then when your computer starts to slow down and you're starting to get that intuitive hit that maybe things are not all as they should be in the Wizard of Oz, you want to talk to Matt, okay, because he can help you out. And now we have Ingrid, who can help you out with admin. So Ingrid, we need to get together in October and chat more. And if you don't have a book, it's so much easier for me or anyone else to promote you with a book. It is a business card on steroids. So definitely chat it up with Jeff, and he can guide you in a direction that will give you some assistance on that. Okay. So I love how I volunteer people all the time. Okay. So what we're doing is old Girl Scout leader, can't help it. So what we're going to do is go back around the room, and I'd like you to let us know, what is it that you're struggling with in business right now? I don't go because I'm in the middle of a summit, and I just published my book this morning, and we had tech issues and people are having trouble with their credit cards. So nobody can help that. That's just going to have to happen. Tech is going to have to go its own way. But I would like you to share what it is that you're struggling with, because maybe somebody in this room has had it happen, and then you'll help all of us by learning that tip. And then the second thing is, what is the tip that you want to give us? Like, it was an aha moment. Even if we've already learned it ourselves, somebody in this room may need to hear what you have to say about something you learned. So if you would, it's called, in Scotty, we used to call it roses and thorns. You know, what was the thing that was good, and what was the thorn that you managed to overcome? So if you don't mind, I'd love to go with Rich, then Jeff, Ingrid, and Sarah. So go ahead, Rich.
Okay. So I don't even know where to begin. Roses and thorns. Roses and thorns. Roses and thorns. My whole life has been roses and thorns, to be perfectly honest with you. And you can actually read about some of that. There's a little bio stuff in the book. It's just always been, you know what it was? It was, I'll tell you exactly what the roses and thorns. I went through a whole bunch of stuff at one point that I won't bore you all with, but it kind of crushed my soul. Death and sickness and a lot of stuff all happened at once. For a long period of time, I was just doing all the stuff that I felt like every morning I was putting on the depression coat to do all that. Until one day I realized that that was a choice. Like at one point, the feelings were appropriate, and then I realized I was holding on to that for whatever reason, and that if I could choose to be that, I could choose to be anything. And once I wrapped my head around that, like that was some serious head wrapping, it altered my life. Because once I realized the power of choice, it altered everything since then.
Well done, because what you just described is my favorite word, which is life is sublime. It's that razor's edge. We have tragedy, or we're devastated, we're in depression, we're in the void, we're in the darkness. And yet at the same time, there is light. And sometimes we have it both hitting us at the same time. And that the only way I know how to define the word sublime is that moment. And so well done. Thank you very much. Yeah. Excellent work. Jeff, so can we bring, what can we bring for you today? What are you bringing to us today?
I think really truly I'm laser focused on helping you with the summit. So
yes, you are. Thank you.
I literally, I'm like, put me in, coach, I'm ready. I love working with Janine. She's literally the only person I've ever worked with that we out finish things together. So the laser focus is fun. So my ask is going to be, for people who know people that could or should or might want to write a book, invite them to join the summit. And Michael Whitehouse sent out an email this morning about the summit being sort of, pick and choose, and it's an anthology. It's not something you have to attend as a marathon, but I guarantee somebody around there surrounding you needs some message that's coming through. And, the adage is, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So I would just say, if people are wanting to help, I think sending people to the summit is a good way to help. And just a fun fact, I sent it to my niece this morning. She's been writing a book for 10 years, and I'm like, why wouldn't you ask me for help? Now, in full fairness, she's trying to compete with R.R. Tolkien, and she's created this whole world. That's not my space, but if you know anybody who's got a story that needs to be told and they want help, I'd love to meet them.
Thanks so much. And like I said, Jeff and I are building out quite a few things. Our goal is to bring podcasters together for Podcasters Playground. And then we're going to have the podcasting circus. And that's where we take Authorpreneurs HQ that I've built out over the last 18 months. And we take the podcasting playground that he's built out over the last 18 months, and we bring those two communities together. And then we'll have a massive 100 breakout rooms on Zoom, where everybody's doing shows with guests, because we have the authors there, we have the podcasters there. And so if you have a podcaster who's like, I just want high quality guests that know what they're doing, I'm so tired of having to educate everybody that comes on my podcast show, you'll have that at the podcasting circus, which will be May 1st and 2nd. So that's thanks, Jeff. Jeff also has a group. If you're like, oh, I don't know about this, I don't want to necessarily sign up, we have a LinkedIn group, so you can just go and see what type of people are and see if that's a community you even want to be a part of. So anyhow, thanks, Jeff. Okay, and then we'll go with Ingrid and Sarah and Nancy. Ingrid.
All right. Let's see. I've been struggling narrowing things down, finding a direction to follow, answering the questions. Oh, what is your why? Who is your who? That's what I'm really working at, and just trying to figure out how to explore that, I guess, best. And I'm finding what works is, along with what Mark was saying, be present, keep showing up is what's really helping. I find that when I'm the most lost or confused, I go to something like this or a different session of some sort, meet people, and just hear what they have to say. It's always fantastic. Yeah.
Okay.
Showing up.
We're gonna talk about income producing activities. Now, I love marketing people, but they will twist a entrepreneur around to where they don't know who they are, what they stand for, because they're asking them questions that have nothing to do with your cash flow. All right. So forgive me, I'm going to be really direct here. Stop trying to answer those stupid freaking questions. Right? I'm sorry. It's stupid. And I'm in marketing. But I go head to head with marketing people because they're trying to narrow down a creative when the creative is servant led. Hello, you're going to attract. We don't operate in a field of scarcity. The scarcity mentality is the hunter. Like, I'm there with my spear. I've got my target. That's my demographic. That's who I'm at. And I throw my spear and I'm just good. That's how I'm going to make money. No, it works. It works. I'm not saying it doesn't work. It works. Okay. But the people who I attract and Jeff attracts and Mark and everybody here, we're servant leaders. We're entrepreneurs of the heart. We left corporate jobs because we wanted something better. We wanted a quality life that was better. We had conditions we had to look at. I wanted to stay home and raise my 4 kids. I wanted to homeschool them. I couldn't do that and be in a corporate job. So, sorry, this is a passion of mine. In case you hadn't noticed, I'll get down off my soapbox in a minute. For people like us in this community, we are, yeah, the thriving solopreneur. Yeah, sorry. Jeff's got all my books. Thank you, Jeff. But the thing is, don't answer those questions. What is important is sit down, take a moment. You get spun out. All of us, there's a moment we get spun out and we get all wrapped up in the details and the minutia. Go for a walk, do whatever your thing is. I'm very kinesthetic. I have to go for a walk. And so I go for a walk and I come back, I sit down and I go, I need more income. I am $2,000 short this month if I'm going to make my bills. And I always threaten the universe because, it's big, it can handle me. I go, and you've said that if I left my corporate job, my kiddos would be taken care of. I heard you in my ear. So make it happen. And then I'll go, and I'll rest and I'll wait and I'll go, who can help me? That's the question. Who can help me? It's not, what am I supposed to do? No. Who can help me? A name will pop into my head. Maybe it's Gary Barnes. Maybe it's Lynn White. Maybe it's, who knows? And then I will call that person. I'll go, hey, Gary, what's going on? I was just sitting here and your name popped in my head. Notice I haven't lied. Nor have I gone super woo-woo with the guy either. I said, I was just thinking about you. What's going on in your world? Why did you pop in my head? And then he asks me to speak at his international stage. And would I like a booth? Yeah. Okay. So that's where we are. That's how we market. That's how we brand. Okay. And so stop answering questions that do not directly affect your cash flow, right? And I call them IPAs. I learned it, oh God, this is the dark ages, 1980s. But it was like IPAs, income producing activities. What is your income producing activity? And your income producing activity is talking to a potential client, talking to clients you already have and asking them if there are things that you can do more for them. Like, I know you're struggling. I know this happened or that happened. One of my favorite things is when a tornado went through a certain section of the United States, I started calling all my clients in that area. How are you? How can I help you? Do you need resources? What do you need? And they were just like so overcome that I even cared what happened to them. That's the thing. 65% of our clients leave. Why? Because they don't think we care, which is heartbreaking. And why? Why do they think we don't care? Because we're too busy wondering who our who is and spinning out on freaking marketing. And we're not taking care of the people who already said yes and we're part of our program. So that's why when people say as authors, and Nancy, would you please spread this message to your people as well? When they say, so, okay, I have my book. Now I need to get on social media. Don't you dare until you have 500 people in your email subscriber list, don't even go to social media. And people freak out. And I'm go, you take care of people who you are running into, like in rooms like this, that sign up because they want to buy your book and stuff like that. So sorry, Ingrid, you said a beautiful thing and you allowed me to vent my spleen. I will open it up to the rest of the Brain Trust. Anybody else care to share what an income producing activity is?
Well, you're absolutely right. And when Rich said his book is out, he's doing his stuff, and guess what I did? I went on Amazon and I purchased the book. That's
Thank
how
you.
things work.
Mhm.
Be
Mhm.
present with the message that you're receiving. Just do what you need to do in the moment. It's just a beautiful place. Ingrid, if you want to reach out, we can do it. We can do a one-on-one and have a chat and go through some stuff with you as well.
Thanks. Thanks, guys.
Okay. So that's Janine's perspective. And thank you, Mark, for being back up and having my back on that. But please remember the difference between promotion and marketing and making money. And as entrepreneurs, we have to wear so many hats and we have to learn so many skill sets. And my God, if one more person says, oh, it's just a new software update, I think I'm going to cry because every time I turn around, because it drops my efficiency, right? And then I have to go change all my procedures because I have 15 people that I have written systems for that help me do what I need to do. And so I understand your pain and I understand why it gets twisted around. So Ingrid, see how that works for you. And when you come back on the next Open Friday Coffee, give us an update, please. I always love to hear good news. Go ahead, Jeff.
I just want to share, Janine, that Ingrid and I are going to be working on a project about send out cards, because that's one of my little rants on my Friday call was, if you're not following up, why the hell are you doing it in the first place? You know, and Ingrid just happened to be on the call, and I was like, Ingrid, no pressure, but my single biggest pain point is watching entrepreneurs doing all of this promotion stuff and, you know, copying the big brands and all of their magic random things that, you know, they can spend $1 million on goodwill. But I said, why wouldn't you just focus on being the follow-up queen? And I mentioned that that's your forte, is the systems around follow-up. So Ingrid and I are going to be working on a book together. I don't know if I even asked her permission. So Ingrid, I'd like to ask your permission.
We've all told people a lot of things in this room.
Yeah. The working title is Foolproof Follow-Up for Heart-Based Healers.
Wonderful. That's lovely. And Ingrid, if you're not a part of the You're on Mute Club, that's how I do my follow up and let people know that I care about them. There's a link in the chat. Don't worry, you're not going to get spammed. I just need your thank you. I just need your address so that you guys can. Thank you so much. I love you guys.
I show my favorite side.
Is that the side? Yeah, the side. It has me smiling at you on the back. Yeah, like I got you. I understand. Okay, Sarah.
Well, you know, I'm reconnecting, as I said, you know, I feel like I got stuck in the mud. Same sort of thing, you know, what am I doing? You know, who's my target? All of that stuff. When the thing I really need to do is just reconnect and get back out there. That's the income producing. Yep. The phone calls, the emails, reaching out, making sure that I'm connecting. And so that's really, I guess, what I need are places to connect and just the reminders. And then, I tip or something, you know, I will say that it is important to be present in receiving info, but also be mindful that not all the info is going to help you. There are some people, some of the advice is not always, just like Janine said, you know, marketers give you all this advice, but it's not always the right thing for you. So always check yourself to make sure that information is good for you.
And if you're unsure, call Sarah. She wants to connect with you, and she will be a great sounding board because she knows what it's like to walk through the mud. Once again, I hope you don't mind me volunteering.
Don't mind at all.
Volunteering you. All right. And Nancy will wait for you to come back to your screen. Oh, there you are. I was calling on you next. Sorry. Nancy, Matt, and Doreen. Go ahead, Nancy.
My dog was barking. So I threw him out. This is such a great question because I had my 3 a.m. Last night, and I find, well, two things. Over the last 2 years now, I've been learning how to get people found online. It's just so exciting. It's so much work, however. I mean, I now know how to rank people above the advertisers. And so, however, my client base is beginners, or maybe they're not beginners. So I'm constantly, should I be, you know, there again, marketing, but thank you, Janine. And thank you, Ingrid, for your question. Should I be, focusing on the beginner to get them in, or should I be saying, I've got this really, I've got this new skill, guys, and I can take your website and I can just boost it to the moon if you need to have it boosted. But it's not a beginner's package.
Right. And so Nancy reached back around to me because I do have a website we're going to be boosting, and I need you to chat with me at the end of October. That's when I'll have bandwidth. So go ahead and reach out to me for that. But the other thing is Matt has to get my computer up and running. So Matt first, then Nancy on that. And then Jeff, we were just talking about this. You want to say a few words regarding clients that are heavy?
I just let one go in my mind. Actually, Doreen and I had a conversation about this. I am a helpaholic, and I can trace it back to my childhood, and Mark's helping me with some of that. I love helping people, and I feel really bad when somebody comes to me and I can't help them. But what I realized this week is that there are certain people I can help with ease, and there are certain people that are going to cost me my soul as I help them. And people like Rich, I'm just gonna call Rich out. Rich is a fantastic person to work with. I can't honestly call what Rich and I did work. It was so much fun. We laughed. I mean, literally, Rich and I, we worked on his book even through the death of my father, and Rich was there for me, and it was therapeutic. So the aha moment was, there are clients that are heavy to carry, and they will drag you down all day long. And honestly, they don't know that they're heavy. They just know that they're tired and somebody's willing to help. So they take all of their baggage and put it upon you. In a past life, I was crazy enough to be that person to say, here, let me carry that. But what I realized was, you can't do your highest and best work when you're always chasing and helping the helpless. And, so going forward, I've realized that, I can help the bookless, but they've got to know they're bookless. I'm not there to convince them that they need a book. Either they know it or they don't. And if they don't know it, I can't help them. So yesterday I had a dear friend who I've worked with for a year, and I've done it because he's had some health issues. He's had some personal issues. And I said to him, I can't keep carrying you because, and this is just a weird thing. We wrote 6 books, and he has bought 0 copies of each of his 6 books.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, I can't help you if you're not going to at least order your book.
So that's one of the things that I want you guys to remember. With marketing, they are after everybody. They want to convince you that you need what I have. That's not how we operate. We don't ever want to be that to somebody, which is why we can't use what you see so prolifically touted for marketing. Ours is, you have to know that what I do is what you need before I will even talk to you, which is why I started the Open Friday Coffee. It was to save my sanity. Started the Open Friday Coffee because I got tired of people taking up my one-to-one time trying to get free coaching. Now I have podcasters coming after me, trying to get me on their shows so they can get free coaching for an hour. Okay. And so that's kind of cute because I've also started charging for that. However, if they come to Open Friday Coffee first, and then they talk to me about it, then I support them. So they've got to put something into the game, whether it's their time or their money. Okay. And so definitely, Nancy, well done. And you're doing the right thing. And it's very scary when you decide to shift in that area, because there's always that momentum that you have to kind of get moving through on that. So Matt, Doreen, and Nikki, go ahead, Rich.
I just want to touch on what Jeff was just talking about. I actually devote a piece of my book to just those type of people. And I put it in the chat, illegitimate non-carborundum, which is, it's Latin, but not really sure if it's really Latin or something that was Latinized for don't let the bastards grind you down. And the point of that is that because we are the type of people we are, we will also tend to attract the soul suckers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I think one of the biggest lessons any of us in business can remind ourselves of is that, is stay away from them. It's not worth it. And for every person like that you turn away, you're going to make space for millions more to come in. That's all I got.
And that's enough. Thank you. Go ahead, Mark.
And I just want to add something, Nancy. If you really want to get something really, really nice, book an hour with Janine. Pay for it. It's just I went through. I called her up one day and I went through her 1 hour with me, and it's just mind blowing. You'll get so much information and so in a different way of looking at things, and it puts you in a place where you can make better decisions because you start knowing who you are and how you do things, and it's just a beautiful place, and that's why I'm here today as well.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. And yet again, we found another link that I didn't give to my poor Lynette, who is trying desperately to look for it. So just a second, I'll pull that up for you guys. But thank you so much. I'll put it into the chat. And then Matt, if you wanted to share anything, or you're welcome to pass, but we'd love to hear your dulcet tones.
Yeah, well, I agree with that. To quote one of my favorite movies, Spaceballs, I'm surrounded by assholes, so which I love that movie, which is hilarious. So, but yeah, I mean, I agree about that. And so the one thing that, I really thought about, after my mom died was how am I going to deal with this? And so my dad being a narcissist, his ego would always get in the way. God forbid I show any vulnerability or any weakness. And so I was having a discussion with many people about this, even Nancy yesterday. We're all, even though we're all professionals, we're all human, and we all have parents. And so even though I'm basically the poor version of Bill Gates or the hairier version of Jeff Bezos, I still have parents. And so that's something that we all can relate to, is that when you have loved ones that pass, how do you deal with it? And so I've been very open and candid about that. And so really for me, it's how do I go on in my life now without my mom? And so that has been quite the challenge. But more importantly, how do I pick up on my professional life? So this is like my first work thing since, I came back yesterday. And so I have to start making phone calls to everybody in terms of what has to transpire, including Nancy, and how do you get the momentum back? And so that's what I'm working on for right now. So really, in terms of what I'm looking for, technology-wise or people-wise, is that if you are struggling with your IT, let me know. For example, Apple came out with a patch for your iPhone, your Mac, your iPad, and also your watch to fix the security problems yesterday from pictures that could be exploited and then spy on you. So there's always somebody, and like Janine was mentioning about, having technical problems. You always, what all of us do for a living is all in terms of the technical aspect, where some part of your profession is technology based, and that's why I help Shine to help handhold you. And that was even the case with Janine and also Nancy, is that it's not a race to the finish line, and it's quality over quickness, and that's also the case with writing books and proofreading. So that's really what I'm looking for, is people that have those pain points and that want me to have less pain points. I can't always guarantee I can't always guarantee that you won't get into a car crash, but I sure as hell can give you a better airbag and seatbelt along the way.
I want my better airbag and my seatbelt. Thank you very much, Matt. I appreciate that. We have about 5 minutes. So Doreen and Nikki, and I think we're going to have to wrap it up at that point. Go ahead, Doreen.
Well, thank you, everyone. My brand is Find Your Voice, Change Your Life. And what I realized today is when you find your voice, you help other people change their lives. So thank you. My thorn is my podcast, and my tip is my podcast. My podcast is Find Your Voice, Change Your Life. I help people express and tell their stories about their struggle to find their voice and the journey to be who they are today. And I this year started charging, and I've been having, people just, well, Jeff said yesterday, you don't want the people who don't want to pay, and it's only $99. They get their own page, they get material to promote. So anyway, that's anybody who has links to people, and any of you. Jeff was on Janine's been on my podcast. It's Find Your Voice, Change Your Life. And the tip is, whether it's mine or anyone's, get on a podcast, because that's how you get seen, you get heard, you develop relationships. I feel so much closer to Jeff today after having deep, meaningful conversation on a podcast. It wasn't just give me a tip. It was like, tell me who you are. What's the backstory of your brilliance? So thank you.
Mm-hmm. And thank you, Dr. Doreen. Always love having you around. Okay, Nikki.
Okay. Wow. I'm so happy I came today. My tip for revenue generating activities is alignment. I literally was tapping on everything we're talking about, EFT tapping, not tap dancing, last night and this morning on this new epiphany that I had of how I've been playing small, and it's been showing in my numbers, listening to all the bad hypnotherapists walking around with the suggestions of doing things a certain way with marketing specifically. And like the story of the fly that keeps banging its head against the window trying to get out and finally dies before the camera pans over and sees the front door is wide open. I've been the fly trying to niche down and being super specific and being told I can't talk about mindset and mindfulness until I'm a Tony Robbins or Oprah Winfrey. And I decided, screw that. And to Doreen's point, it's about finding my voice. And there are so many people walking around that are saying, I'm getting in my own way. And if I can just get rid of this limiting belief, there's so many, I can't even serve them all. So I'm committing in front of all of you that I'm going to do me and use my voice and watch my business soar. That's all, folks.
That's
Wow.
lovely. So you're committed.
I have never heard you with a bigger presence.
Yep.
Thank you. I'm committing to showing up in a bigger way. No more playing small. We're done with that.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. And so who is the person that can help you? You don't have to answer it out loud. Just answer the, you don't have to do it. But who is the person that can help you? Who's the next step? We always want to say, what do I need to do? Sometimes when you have this strength, it's like, who can help me move forward with this momentum I just created for myself? The who is more important than what, right? So I just offer that to you.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Because there's somebody in your sphere that can help you with that next step to play big. Yeah. Yeah, cool. All right. Well, we have 2 minutes. So I just want to say, number one, thank you everybody for showing up. You are a beautiful brain trust. And I want to honor the work that you are doing. You are making the world a better place, one client at a time. Don't ever forget that. You're handling somebody who is in pain and is suffering, and you're handling them with compassion. You're handling them without judgment. You're working with them to make them better with who they are. This is huge work that we're doing. And whether you call yourself a light worker, an entrepreneur, or just, I'm Matt. He never says he's just Matt. That's the joke. But anyway, no matter who you are and what you're doing, I just want you to realize you are making a difference. And as we get ready to move through what we call the fall gate, we're getting ready to move through the fall equinox. If you have a stirring that says, I need to start getting rid of stuff, listen to that, take time off of work, start getting rid of stuff. It's the only way that you can open yourself up to receive the good stuff that's coming in the last quarter. And there's always good stuff that comes in the last quarter. Why? Because we have the holidays and we have to deal with our family. All right. Love you. Peace out. Talk to you guys next time. Bye now.